Hello and welcome to my Ever Messy Art Studio. My name is Keeks, and today we are going to be playing with some Sari fabrics or Sari silks as they're called. But before that, I just wanted to show them. I thought that was really cute. And then she made these little beetle guys, which I thought were adorable. Like I remember whenever she was still deciding what to put in the envelopes, I was like, I want the beetles. Love me. So she said, yes, you can have the beetles. But yeah, so I'm really excited because these beetles are really cute and eventually I'll probably put them in one of my journals. Um, but I absolutely love them. They are adorable. So she made all these different beetles. I think my favorite beetle that she made is probably this guy right here. There's something really cute about him. But yeah, and then I got these little, they look kind of like little stamps that she made too, which are really cute. So thank you, Shelly. I really appreciate you. And I was excited to get my Jelly Shelly mail. So what are we working on today? So I have been making, last time we met, I made some gel prints, and now those gel prints are double-sided. So all of them are in here. I've got them sewn together. I have two signatures. It'll all be going in the same book. Well, I shouldn't say two signatures. It's two giant signatures made of 5 signatures each. So it's actually technically 10 signatures. But what I'm doing is I'm making a jelly plate journal that I will eventually be selling on my Etsy. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of yummy goodness happening in here. Traditionally, whenever you cover papers in acrylic paint like this, they will kind of have that sticky charm to them. So eventually I will be putting deli sheets in between the pages. That way it keeps them good and there won't be any issues with that. So what I did was on my lunch break, I took 3 pieces of cardboard and a whole bunch of the oh, what do you call that tape? I think it's called gaffer's tape. And what I did was I made a cover for it. So this is what my cover looks like. And as you can see, it's going to be pretty big and it's going to be perfect for putting all of these signatures inside of it like this. So the signatures will eventually fit in here. And then I have this extra piece here that I'm going to eventually have Velcro on. So that way, whoever ends up with this journal can continue making with it and they'll be able to actually close it, which will be really good for them. Um, so that is what I want to work on today. I want to work on decorating these. And what I did was I got a bunch of, they call them sari silks, even though they really aren't actually silky, as I have found, from Sari Fabrics. And so I have all of these different colors and beautiful fabrics, and I just thought it would be kind of cool to put all that together. The first part that I want to work on though is actually the closure, because I feel like it would make sense if I had that put together first, like the fabric on that glued on first, um, so that I can, have the shutting on it. So what I want to do is I found this sari silk and I think this one's really pretty. Um, and what I want to do is I want to put it on the closure of it, glue it on there and have it be the front and back of this. And then I'm going to sew the edges to give it just kind of a little bit of an extra look to it. So that's what I'm going to do first. And then from there, we'll start putting on more and more fabrics until this puppy is completely covered. So that's what I'm going to start with first. So let's go ahead, and I have fabric glue called Fabric Tack, and I think that's what I'm going to use um, instead of Eileen's tacky glue for this project, because I want to make sure that the fabric really sticks on there. And I don't mind if I get glue on me. That's not going to bother me one little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put some down. I'm not really sure how much I need. This is all going to be kind of a learning curve for me. And if it ends up not looking right, it's okay. I have more pieces of cardboard. I can always remake all of this. I'm not terribly worried about it. But I want to try to get it as good as I can. So I'm just going to rub it in on my little closure here, like that. And then it's getting tacky already, which is great. And then let's try putting this over the top of it. I'm just going to rub it in. And I'm going to try not to let it bunch too much on there. Okay. And there's probably going to be a bit of fiddling around with this to make sure that I stay on camera, number one, but also to make sure that I can get this closed all the way. Yeah, so I think I should have enough to do this with it. So let's get some more of that fabric tack on there. And if I run out of fabric tack, I do have more of Eileen's tacky that I can use, which I have since found works just fine with fabrics. I haven't had any problems with it. I just, since I have fabric glue, I just wanted to try using it to see how I like it. So I'm going to put that in there and kind of rub it about. You don't know how much is too much, how much is too little. It's all just kind of a learning curve thing right now. So I'm just going to kind of fold that over like that and just kind of mush it down. And then now that I've got that on there, what I wanted to do was kind of give this a little bit of an interesting look because now we've just got fabric glue on here and that's it. So what I wanted to do was kind of go around the edges of it and kind of embroider it a little bit. And like I said, not entirely sure how this is going to work, but we're going to try our best. Hey, Yolande, how you doing? I am playing with this. I am making a gel print journal. So this is something that I made out of cardboard and gaffer's tape. I got the idea of gaffer's tape from Eddie. And then eventually, after I get this decorated with sari silks and stuff, I will be putting in all of these gel prints inside here. Oh, yay! That sounds good. I actually just got done with dinner too. We had chicken. Chicken. So let's see here. What I might do is cut some of this excess fabric off because I can see where it's attached and where it's not. So I'm going to try. Hi, guys! Ronan says hi. So I'm going to try to cut off some of that excess fabric real quick. Let me make sure that I'm in frame to do that. This is all completely an experiment. I've never made anything like this before. The closest I've probably made to it is that the last journal I made, which had a bunch of fabric squares on it, but I didn't have anything quite this elaborate on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut some of this excess fabric off now that it's glued on. See if I can, there we go, just kind of lightly pull it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edges of the fabric and sew around the edges. I do technically have a sewing machine, but I don't really know how to use it, so I'm just going to hand sew around it. That might be a little tedious on camera, but I'm going to try it anyway and just kind of see how it goes. And then we can decorate the rest of this journal, but I just really liked this. I got this fabric from Sari Fabrics. Dee Dee kind of enabled me. So I wanted to try it out and see how it would look. There we go. So that looks good there. So we've got it all around our gaffer's tape. She does have some beautiful fabrics, and these were actually originally they were fabric squares that were mounted on top of each other because I think they were for quilt working, and all I did was I just went ahead and undid the fabric to it. Hey Zal, how you doing? Falcon, how you doing? So maybe I'll wait on the sewing part and go straight into just gluing down different fabrics and see what kind of pretty fabrics we can get on here. And I think that would be really cool. I'm going to start with the inside cover and then kind of work my way out because all of these fabrics are different shapes. So it's not like the fabric squares that I used before where it was like a perfect square shape. And I think I'm just going to go one by one with the colors. So let's use a pink first and just kind of rainbow it in there. Let's see. That's really pretty. That's kind of tie-dye. Ooh, I like this one. We're going to use this one on the inside here. And we're just going to start pasting down fabric and make it look really nice and pretty. So I think I'm going to start with this one. We'll put it across the top here. And then, like I said, I've never really made anything quite like this before. So it'll just be kind of like a learning curve thing. So it'll be kind of fun. And I'm just using some fabric tack this time instead of Eileen's tacky glue. Just because I have more of it than I do the Eileen's tacky glue, so I figured I might as well use it. So let's see, about how long is this? A little bit longer than that. I'm just gonna take it and kind of eyeball my measurements and then rub it with my finger. I'm really bad about rubbing glue with my finger, guys. I know somebody last time was like, I just want to clean your fingers, but it's who I am. I'm sorry. I'm a hot mess. And I like getting messy with my artwork. There we go. Oh, I think it was Marty who said that. Marty was like, I just want to clean your fingers for you. I thought that was pretty funny. So we're just gonna put it down and lay it about. And it seemed like this dried pretty quick, so I don't think that we should have much of a problem with that. That's such a pretty fabric. Ooh, that glue kind of stinks. And what I'll probably do is I'll have to do something like maybe a lace along the edge or something like that. And that would probably work fine. But I just want to kind of give it that like homemade vibe. So let's see, we've got a pink. Let's find a pretty red. So I'm just going to kind of Roy G. Biv and keep going in a cycle like that. That way we don't have any repeating colors or anything like that. So many beautiful fabrics though. Look at all these. And I really like these like super intricate ones. Ooh, this one's cool. So I'm just going to throw out a couple of options here. This one could be interesting because it's a red, but it kind of goes with that yellow. So let's try that. So I just want this to be super colorful. Like as colorful as we can possibly get it. And I think that would be a lot of fun. So let's see here. We're just going to paste this down. Let's see, about how long is it? About that long. This corner is not quite down all the way either, so I'll probably put a little bit under that too. But it seemed like this glue was kind of going through the fabric a little bit, so I think that might be okay. Here we go. We're just gonna kind of rub it down. Like we said, trial and error with this. Not sure how it's gonna go, but we're gonna try our best with it. Here we go. So that's nice and tacky now. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. Oh, it's so cold. So this is hanging over a little bit, which is fine because we can always trim stuff as we go. I'm just kind of tacking it down, pushing it down where it needs to be. When in doubt, Roy G. Biv. Yes, ma'am. That is exactly my thoughts about it because I'm a little overwhelmed with how many colors I have to choose from. And if I'm not going to color coordinate it, might as well have a little bit of fun with it. Okay, we need a little bit more glue over here, it looks like. Because I don't want anything sticking up either. That glue's kind of hard to get out of there. There we go. That's better. Anything that sticks out, we can just take off in a bit. Now, I have this orange fabric, but I'm going to wait for this one to be on the front because I love this fabric and I want it to be somewhere I can see it. So I'm going to set that one to the side and grab a different orange. So let's see what we've got going on in here. Got all these different colors and patterns. Ooh, this is kind of pretty. Ooh, but here's some more of that orange with a little bit of pink in it because it seems like this inside cover has a bit of a theme. So maybe we could do that down there along the bottom. Maybe like down here. And that could be good. And then we could stick a yellow fabric right there. So let's try that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. By goo, I seriously mean goo because this stuff is very gooey. There we go. My husband is out fishing right now, and my son is in the living room watching some cartoons. So I was like, well, I don't want to do either one of those things, if you know what I mean. So I was like, I'm just going to go art. If they need me, they can shout. So let's try and stick this down here. I was very excited to get these silks in because I accidentally sent them to Kansas City, y'all. Like, I don't know why, but sometimes whenever I pay on my phone, the address will default to my old address in Kansas City. Luckily, I still own that place, so I mean, that's fine. My tenant sent them to me. But I had to like actually go to Kansas City and get it from them. And I was like, man, why does iPhone have to do me like that? Silly Apple. Silly Apple. But at least I got it, so it ended up not being that big of a dealio. Let's find a yellow. Let's see here. Something spiffy. That's kind of an option, but I see something over here that's catching my eye. This one looks really cool for some reason. So what if we do that one right there? I think that would look nice. So let's try that out. And I am going to let things fully dry before I cut off anything excess that ends up being on this. Or at least let it dry enough to where it's not tacky. I don't know if that square is big enough. Hold on here. No, it needs to be over a little bit more. I don't know if you can see, but there's like strings of glue that's coming up, or that's like on this bottle, and it's just like trailing everywhere. Kind of gross. So let's rub that in. Rub a dub dub in the tub. There needs to be a little bit more glue here, I think. This glue is kind of hard to get out of this bottle. I am sure that there's totally an easier way to do this, but like I said, have no idea what I'm doing. So we're just gonna go with it. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty. I like that. That looks nice. There we go, just like that. I do not think I'm going to put fabric in the spine because I want to make sure that the spine adheres directly on. Now you might see some folded over from whenever I do the spine on the outer side, but on the inner part of the spine, I'm not sure that I should put fabric there because I want to make sure those pages adhere and adhere well. So I'm going to leave that part alone. And then let's scooch this over here so we can see the next piece. So let's see, that was yellow, so let's look for a pretty green. Let's see here. We've got lots of different greens in here. We've got some like lighter greens, some darker greens. That's a cool one right there with that yellow in it. And just kind of, ooh, this one's pretty. We're going with this one. And let's do that one. It kind of matches the shape of this orange one at the bottom, so let's go ahead and put it at the bottom here too. I think that'll look good. Might do it like this because I'll be cutting off the access so that it's not in the spine. So let's try that and see what happens. There we go. Something like that. There we go. Then I'm going to rub it in. There we go, just like that. I'm going to rub this off my finger. Very sticky glue. Okay, which I mean, that's a good thing, but you. All right. So I'm going to stretch that a little bit so that it covers everything that I want covered. Just going to push it down. There we go. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna get some more paper towels here so I can keep wiping my fingies off. That looks pretty darn good there. So I'm going to keep that like that. And then let's see, our next color would be blue. So I've got some blue silks here. I'm not sure if I should really call them silks or not. Like, I know that they're called sari silks, but these are more fabric, so it makes me feel weird calling them silks for some reason. Let's see. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I see something with purple on it. What is that? Is that supposed to be over here? Oh yeah, I guess it is. It's just like a blue and a purple mixed together. Two birds, one stone. That could work, but I'm not sure I like how that piece is going on there. Maybe if we did something like this with it. Yeah, I think maybe that would work better. So that kind of does a blue and a purple for us, which is good. So let's go ahead and get our glue down. Boy, I feel like the more I go, the harder I have to like punch this down. Definitely get your muscle workout in with this. There we go. All right. So we'll just rub that in again. I'm hoping that whenever I'm done making this, it'll look like a good book cover and not just a bunch of fabric smushed together. So far, it looks pretty good though. What's everybody else working on? Any projects got going on? We'll say this is quite fast drying. There we go. I'm just stretching it over the glue. There we go. Just like that. I think that looks pretty good. And then since we've already got purple in there, we don't need that, but I've got these like black ones that we can use. Maybe put it on there like that. That'd be good. So we'll try that and see what it looks like. Need to have a way where I can set this glue upside down so I don't have to keep forcing it forward each time is what I need. Thank you. I appreciate that, Yolande. Really enjoyed your stream today. It was really fun. I especially liked what you did with your giraffes. They were very cute. I love giraffes. I think my favorite thing I've ever seen a giraffe do is what's called a sploot, which is where they kind of like they like duck down but like spread their legs a bit. And it's really funny. They do it to get food sometimes and it looks ridiculous. So yeah, it looks just really cute and dorky when they do it. But I mean, when you got such a long neck and legs and stuff, you got to get down there somehow. Yeah, I thought it was fun that we got to name the giraffes. Oh, of course. Yeah, I definitely wanted to send you one. So I'm just glad that you got it because I actually sent it to you when you were still on vacation. I wasn't sure if they were holding your mail or anything like that. So I was like, oh man, I hope that she still gets that. So I was really happy to see that you did. And ironically, Carol, my quiet corner, she actually got her happy mail from me too. She and I did a swap not too long ago, and at first it got returned to me in the mail because I guess I didn't have enough postage on it or something, which is weird because I put 2 stamps, so I thought that would have totally been enough, but I guess not. So I sent it back with 3 stamps, and she just got it today too. So I was really happy that she got her mail also. Yeah. So make sure that that's not quite covering that because I'll take scissors once this is a little bit drier and I'll cut out that spine part so that it's not quite in the way. So let's try flipping it over. And let's start with this side over here. So we just did black. I have a whole bunch of these like tan ones. Plus I also have this one here, which I want to put in the middle of the front. Um, which the front is actually going to be over here on this other side, on that side over there. So I'm gonna wait and use that over here. But let's see what we've got over here. Oops, I forgot to put my blacks away. Hold on here. I don't want to get a whole bunch of them out and then get them all mixed up again because I spent like um, an hour sorting through these to kind of like get somewhat of a color code variance on them. So I don't want to go too crazy. Oh, this one's kind of cool. Use that one. Because I like that I'm using a bunch of pinks in these because it kind of has like a color coordination going on now. So let's see, we can put that here like this, or we could flip it. I kind of like how it looks flipped. Let's do the flip. Okay. And it's kind of in this shape here. There we go. Like that. I'm setting my bottle upside down so that big old air bubble goes to the top of the back of it instead of where it is right now. As far as using the fabric tack, I think I definitely preferred Eileen's tacky glue, just because this stuff has a really strange feel to it. Like, I'm not sure that I would be as pokey with this as I am next time around that I use this. Let's see here. Rub that. Nope, I didn't quite get it down enough. So let's put a little strip of glue right there. Kind of eyeballing it, not really measuring it, so that's on me. Ooh, big old string of glue. I'm just going to be covered in glue. This is fine. Yesterday, after that gel printing session, I definitely had to take a shower afterwards. I somehow got acrylic paint on my stomach. I had it all over my arms. I had it on my hands. It was everywhere. I looked like I was part of the art project. We'll just put it that way. It was kind of funny. All right. So we've got that one down, and then we'll go back to our pinks again and see what we've got going on here. Find a pretty colorful one. Maybe we can use a different kind of pink colorful. Ooh, what about this? This has yellow in it, so it kind of goes with the yellow that's in that one. So let's try that. Let's see how we like it. Let's see, so it's about as tall as the other one. It's going to be over slightly. I believe it. Sometimes you just kind of get in the moment and you just don't think about it, and then someone looks at you and goes, "Hey, you got a little something something there." My husband's bad about it. Like, he'll be like, "Hey, Keisha, maybe you should go look in the mirror real quick." And I'm like, "Oh no, what have I done now?" That's funny. The trials and tribulations of being an artist, huh? Yeah, it was crazy because like that, I ended up doing 55 pages front and back yesterday of gel prints, and my floor looked insane. No one saw you? Oh no, nobody told you about it. Rude. Oh my goodness. I think I would have laughed about it, depending on where you went. Like, if you went somewhere fancy to shop, then I would have been a little like, oh no, why didn't anybody say anything? But otherwise, I think I would laugh about that. Glare at my husband a little bit and be like, "Excuse you. You just like going around like without telling me what I look like today, sir?" Maybe he's afraid to tell us the truth though. There we go. Yeah, I think that will look nice there. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit so that we get to the top there. Something like that. That looks nice. And then, yeah, I'll definitely have to put either a lace around the edges or maybe even just cut some of the sari silk and go around the edges to make sure that those get down good. Let's see here. So that was the pink. So let's look for red now. Let's see here. I'm kind of looking for the ones that are more like decorative, like this one. This one right here. Some that have a little bit of something something going on with them. Let's try that one. And we can put it right here. Yeah, I think that'll look good right there. I want to make sure that this looks as good as I can, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to embellish it a lot, and I'll probably end up putting it on Etsy as like a first journal that has like just purely my artwork in it. Because that's one of the things I've been really interested in trying lately to do, is I would like to eventually start selling some of my artwork, just because I've always kind of dreamed of doing something like that, but I've just never, I've been too shy to do it, we'll just put it that way. Because there's always that worry that you're not good enough and that nobody's going to want to buy your artwork. So I want to kind of prove to myself that, hey, you can do it. You are worth it. Just try. What's the worst that can happen? Nothing. Exactly, And if not, then I end up with a cool journal either way. So it's fine. So I'm just going to try it, go for it. And if it doesn't work, at least I tried. It was just Costco, so you laughed. Good, good. You don't want it to be anywhere fancy. Can you imagine going to somewhere like, I don't know, like one of those fancy places you have to have a reservation or something? All of a sudden you're like, oh no. That'd be funny. This glue is sticking to me really good. Okay, so let's see here. Now we need an orange. And we can get away with doing a smaller fabric. Let's see, that is a smaller fabric, but it is not exciting. I want exciting fabrics. Ooh, this is kind of cool, whatever this is. What if I used that there and maybe cut it down a little bit? That might be cool. Let's see here. Because I don't really need this top portion. So we can just lightly cut that. There we go. Now we have a nice little scrappy scrap. Because I have some longer pieces of the fabric that I can use in the center there, but I'm going to worry about that center. Whoops, didn't mean to hit you there. I'm going to worry about that center piece of spine last, I think. Almost reached for the Elmer's glue. That wouldn't help me. Of course, who knows? Elmer's glue is magical sometimes, so can't hate on good old-fashioned. But I don't think it would work very well with fabric. Or at least I'm not going to try it. I don't even know where I got this fabric tack glue at. It looked like it had never been opened before. And I was like, I have fabric glue? What? Because I definitely had some in my Amazon cart and was going to buy some on Friday, but not if I already own it. Might as well use what you got. Go. Oh, go. And as crazy as it sounds, after I decorate with all this fabric, I actually have some other sari silks that have like some like sequins on them. And I was thinking about putting some of it on the cover too somehow. Like trying to figure out how I could do something like that. Because I thought maybe that would be cool, or maybe even embellishing it with some jewelry or something. So I have like a lot of different ideas I think could work. I just need to put them to fruition, I guess. Okay, so we've got that. Like I said, I definitely want to use this one. Not really sure where yet. Is it long enough to be a spine? No, it's not long enough to be a spine. I definitely want to use this one because it's so beautiful. Do I want to use it like that, or do I want to use it? Yeah, that looks like it would fit up really good at the top. So we'll try that and see how that works. Hi, Ronan, what's up?
Hi, everybody. What are we doing?
We are making a book.
Ooh, okay, bye.
Bye. He's so silly. He only has 2 more days left of kindergarten. He had his graduation last week already. I found it kind of funny that they did graduation and then said, haha, you have to go to school for another week anyway. I think that's hilarious. But it was very cute. And we're very proud of him. And then it'll be summer, and then we'll have ourselves a big old first grader. There we go. What did I do with the lid? Oh no. There it is. It's like, Mr. Lid, where are you? Let's do with the red up top. Now, which side is the front of this fabric? I think it's this side. Yes, very, very special. It's a good time to be a mummy. I probably should have squished that glue down first, but that's okay. We'll kind of mush it in there. There we go. Something like that looks good. I do want it to be up closer to the top though, so I'm going to kind of stretch it a little bit and make it go up a little. Oh, it keeps sticking to me. Stop it. There we go. So that doesn't look bad. I really just loved the tie-dye to it. Does it look like anything else I'm putting on here? No, but I wanted it, okay? Let's see here about a yellow. Let's see. Ooh, this is pretty. I can try this one. But like, look at these. Like, I thought something like this over the top might look kind of interesting. Oh, which side's the front? This is the front. You know, to where you can just see the fabric underneath it, and then this goes over top it. Like, I have a lot of these little black sari silks that I bought from Sari Fabrics, and I loved those. So yeah, we'll figure that out whenever we get a little bit closer to. Let's see here. So it looks like we can put that puppy right there. Oops, wrong glue again. Grabbing for Old Faithful. That's right. Well, thank you. Yes, I am the boss of my own journal cover. Sometimes you gotta remind yourself that, though, yeah? It's like, I don't know, it's something so new and different that I've never done before, so I'm just winging it. Winging it like a chicken wing. More like a spider web. So I'm just getting glue everywhere. There we go. Let's rub this in this time because I'm not sure that I liked how I put that last one down. There we go, just like that. And then I kind of like this one because it looks like it has a heart on it. Very cute. Go. Yeah, that's cute. This is kind of overhanging a little bit, so let's put a little bit of glue over here. There we go. There we go. That looks a little bit better, I think. Oh, oh no. No, 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 don't come up. Hold on here. Stick that back down. The tie-dye one was trying to come up because my fingers are sticky. There we go. I think I saved it. Stir down. That's difficult. There we go. Look at my poor fingers. Which is weird because they're dry until I touch the tackiness of the glue again. Let's see here. So that was yellow technically. So let's look for a green. Oh, that's more of a scrap than it is anything else. Let's put that one. I have like a little scrap pile. Let's see. Maybe something like that there. This is actually a little bit longer than it's pretending to be. Here we go. Something like that. I think that would look good. There we go. There we are. Boy, I think by the time I'm done with this, most of this fabric tack's gonna be all gone. There we go. There we go. That's good. I'm gonna have to get a new paper towel here in a minute. There we go. There we go. I'm just kind of stretching it to make it fit. There we go. That looks fine. And there's a little bit of an overhang over here, but I'm not really concerned about it. Like, I don't think it looks bad or anything like that. So then let's try blue next. Let's see what we've got. Here's a small blue one that might work out good. Do I have a smaller piece of blue? No. Maybe something like that. What else do we have in here? Are all the rest of these bigger? Because I don't want to use a big piece. Yeah, I think the rest of these are, well, this one's not too big. What about this one? Nah, I like this one better. We're gonna go with that one. Oh, I didn't put my greens away. Look at me. Improper housekeeping. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this guy down. Something like that. I'd like to get better with fabrics, which is another reason why I chose to get fabrics to do these kind of things with. Because I see people do such beautiful things with their journals, and I want to learn how to do that too. So I really didn't realize I was much of a journal person until really a few weeks ago. So I just feel like I've been experimenting ever since, and I keep making more of them, so I must be enjoying it. Yeah. So let's go ahead and glue that down. Just gonna wipe it down like this. Ooh, so thick. Definitely not for the lighthearted if you don't like gooey stuff in your fingers. Mm, this is just like gummy stuff on my fingers. I'm probably exfoliating my skin really well. Pulling all that goo off. There we go. Something like that. Now we got to worry about our spine here. So let's see here. Got, that was blue. Here's purple. Let's see, do we have any long strips of purple? We have this strip here. That wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, that looks good. So we'll use that there. There we go. Lovely. There we go. And we'll just kind of stretch it out. So that's a nice thing because of how well this is adhering to the fabric is able to stretch a bit more, which I like about this. It's just so sticky. But boy, does it want to adhere to me too. Stop it. Try to wipe myself off a little bit more. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if I can clump it down a little bit more. And what we'll do is in the little areas where we could see stuff, we're going to be embellishing over it. So hopefully it won't be super noticeable. Okay, so let's see about, now I got black. So let's see if I can find like a small square of black. This might work. I don't know that I would consider this fully black, but it is nice looking. We could try it. Ah, well, looky here. This would have been perfect for something like this. And here I am just finding it now. That's okay. Next time, I suppose. All these silly fabrics. Okay. So let's go ahead and glue this one down. There we go. What are you doing, Ronan? Okay. He just goes "Roar," really loud all of a sudden. I was like, what are you doing, child? Kids, what can you say? They're just silly. There we go. Where'd that lid go? Here it is. There we go. So let's try. I think I'm gonna actually cut this little piece of fabric down just a wee bit. So I don't think I need all that red overhang. There we go, that's better. So we'll just stretch that out a little bit. And I'm gonna glue just a little spot right here. Oops. There we go. Something like that. And then let's see about that sari silk that I had. That was black. And let's see what we think about that, or if I should just embellish it with some broken jewelry. Because I can always go that route too. Let's see, this is really the one that I was looking at, so let's try. I'm just not entirely sure how I would put it on there. But I kind of thought it would be fun to have it like partially on there like that. I just thought maybe that would be really pretty. So it looks like I need to cut a couple inches off this side here. So let's see how easy this is going to be to cut. And once again, I'm just going to eyeball it because I am not a fabric measurer, nor do I really measure anything to begin with. Let's see. There we go. And let's see. Yeah, I think that could look really cool. Now, how to go about doing this. Let's see. The other thing is I still need to make sure that the book can open and shut okay. So maybe if I hook it up like this while I'm trying to glue it. I don't know if that would work. I think it should be okay if I just lay it down. It seems like it's wanting to adhere okay. So let's go ahead. Okay, how far over is it? Okay, so that's not terrible. So it should go from about here to about here. And what I'm going to do is I'm only going to glue the edges of this part. That way it kind of has the freedom to move. That. And then maybe I'll put just a little bit on the spine too. Something like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to gently and quickly rub this with my finger because it's already starting to dry a bit. And I don't want it to ruin my idea. Uh-oh, stay down, piece of fabric. All right, let's try that and see what's going to happen here. Wish me luck. Because this could either be really awesome or really dumb to do. We will find out together. But if it turns out the way I want it to turn out, it's going to look really cool. There we go. Go. Something like that. Oops. Let me get the fabric all the way over on this spot over here. Well, is it gonna still open and shut? It will. Okay. Well then, that's not bad. That makes me happy. Because like I said, I was really worried about that. And then what I need to do is I need some little strips of fabric to go around the edges here because the problem is I can totally see the gaffer's tape still underneath this. So I need to do some sort of a fabric on the edge. Give me 1 second and I'm just going to go get my laces and see if I can do something around these edges. Give me 1 moment here. Think I have lace in this big bucket here. Let me see if I've got anything that might work. I just kind of over to the side. I'm letting this dry a little bit So I'm trying not to move it. Let's see what kind of lace I have. So I want it to be a little bit of a thicker. I need something like I like this, but I think that's too thin because that would be really cool if it was a little bit thicker. See, I've got Christmas lace, but I don't want Christmas. No, thank you. Got something. I've got this, but it's white. I'm not sure about it, but that could go all the way around. Let me just see real quick if it would go all the way around. It would, so I'm gonna leave that out for a second. Um, do I have any black version of that lace? If I had a black version of it, it would be great. Hey Joyce, how you doing? Good to see you. I am working on a journal cover. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about the edges here. I have this also, but I don't think that's going to be long enough. So no for that. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of interesting. I don't even know what this is. It's kind of like a plasticky material. I'm just kind of searching through my lace box to see what I've got going on. Oh, I've got black. The black might look good. So I'm gonna have to go around the edges where this gaffer tape is and put a little bit of something something. So let's go around the edges. I'm gonna first go around and cut off any excess fabric that we've glued down. That way the excess fabric will not be in my way. So I'm just cutting along the edge real quick so I can see what's going on. I'm trying to cut as close to the cardboard as I can. Trying to figure out my conundrum here about how I'm gonna do this. So I've never made anything like this before. I'm trying to be both crafty and fabricy today. Edge there. Let's see. Are these edges here? Yes, they are. Let's get rid of them. Okay, got rid of that. And then it seems like on the door here, I've got some extra fabric. I'm slightly cutting away this extra fabric so that it won't be there anymore. Sorry, some of this might be a little bit out of frame because I'm kind of just trying to look all the way around it. And then let's also look at the inside here. I'm sure I've got a bunch of extra fabric right in here that doesn't really need to be here either. So we can just lightly cut that excess away. Because that will be along the spine where we're going to glue in our pages later, so we just don't need it. So I think that looks a little bit better. Okay, now let me try to think about how I'm going to do this exactly. Because I've got this long roll of black, which I think is going to be very helpful. So let's see. So it looks like if I cut this here, like that, I should be able to get kind of an edge on there. Will we still be able to shut our book? We should. Okay, what about the top edge? Because I want this sari silk to hang down here. Like I like the sequincy stuff. I'm just trying to figure out how I should think about doing this. Okay, we're gonna go for it. And if it's a mistake, that's okay. We'll have learned from it. So let's just go for it. I'm gonna get all this excess glue off of this so it's out of my way. Oh, thank you. Bye, Yolanda. It was good to see you. Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is put a line. Oops. Oh gosh, I hope I'm not starting to run out of glue. That would be bad. I'm gonna put a line over the top like this. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to cover up the edges so that it doesn't look weird. Because right now everything's really pretty and colorful except for along the edges. Oh, I'm getting glue everywhere. Oh gosh, I just got glue on my paintbrushes. That's not cool. This glue is very stringy. Okay. So I've got that down. And now let's take the one that I cut. And just put it along the edge. And this is just simply black ribbon. And then I'm going to fold it over like that. Oops, I don't need this white ribbon now. Let's get rid of this white ribbon because I think it's confusing me. Okay. And let's put this along the edge too. Like that. And then fold this over. Wish you could see the look on my face. I'm like making a face right now. Because I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I really want it to work. Oh God. I don't know. It's acting like it wants to work in certain places, but then it's popping up in other places, so I'm not sure. It's working really well there. Come on, fabric glue, you've been doing really good this whole time. Do not fail me now. it's trying to adhere to me too. So I'm like, oh, ow, like that. That's adhering to me, and that's not what I want it to do. I want it to adhere to itself. So that looks okay. It's like a puzzle. I'm doing mental gymnastics to get this right. Hopefully my live didn't just do anything weird. My husband just tried to call me. Okay. I don't think he realized I was recording. Okay, so let's see. So that looks okay like that. So now I need to do the edges. So on this side, I need to do it from here to here. Like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut one for over here too. Like that. Okay. Let's glue it. There we go. Like that. And I'm going to gently place this over here. Like that. I'm going to hold it down for a minute. I feel like I'm doing some sort of surgery here. Fabric surgery. Then let's flip this over again. Okay. Just like that. There we go, like that. Then I'm going to fold it in. Okay. So it's kind of doing what the top was doing, where it's not really wanting to stay folded unless I hold it. So I'm going to have to be really careful not to glue myself to this book. Like I feel like it's trying. It wants the glue. It wants me to be a part of it, guys. Oh no, it's coming up over here. I'm going to hold it for a minute and try to wait for it to adhere. we go. That looks good. Okay. So then we've got this strip here, but I'm actually going to be cutting it a little bit. Like that. And like that. Because we need room for our strap to breathe. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the journal back over again. Like that. So we've got our two straps here. That. And then there we go. Like that. I'm going to flip it back over again. Ah, I'm knocking the glue over. Don't knock the glue. Sorry, I know this is probably a little tedious to watch at the moment. Okay, so those should fold over. Hi, buddy, what you doing? No, don't wiggle my arm, please,
Why?
because I'm gluing.
I don't like glue because it's invisible and you can't really see it.
Yeah, glue's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Very nice.
Because it's so cool.
It is pretty cool. Okay, so I've got to hold this down a little bit. Otherwise, it'll just pop right back up. So I got to wait for it to adhere first. To anyone who's still watching, thank you. I do appreciate your company. Oops. See, my problem is sometimes when I lift up my finger, it's trying to adhere to my finger too because I've got so much glue all over me that it just doesn't know how to behave. There we go. I think that's okay now. Now this one is just a tad long, so I'm going to trim it real fast. There we go. Oops, it's still coming up a little bit, so I'm going to hold it down just a little bit longer. There we go. There we go. Then we'll fold this guy over too. We'll just hold her there for a minute. There we go. And then we've got this. There we go. Oops, wrong glue. I keep doing that. I keep going for the wrong one. Okay. There we go. Oh, well, right now, tedious gluing. Actually, I am in the middle of making a cover for what will be a gel plate journal, that I've been making out of sari silks. So right now I'm trying to put on edges so that it just doesn't look like a bunch of cut up fabric. How you doing, Marcy? I've never made anything like this before, so I'm just trying to make it right. You know what I mean? Like to where it's gonna look good. But I think it looks pretty cool on the front. Like I've got a bunch of glitter and some fabric and stuff happening, so I think that looks really cool. We're just doing the tedious final steps of it, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, this part's going to be a little difficult. I should have waited um, to put on this part of the silks instead of gluing it on immediately like I did. So this part's going to probably be a little weird. And what I might do is I might just fold the fabric into itself so that this part can still hang down. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've just been kind of riding by the seat of my pants trying to put this together. It will be for, I've made 10 signatures full of jelly prints, and eventually these are going to live inside this journal. So I'm hoping that it's going to turn out really nice. So like I said, I've never really made anything quite like this before. And I'm especially not really versed in fabric or fabric needs. So this has been quite the learning experience. So trying. Uh-oh, some of my fabric wants to come up there. I don't want that, but I am going to want to bend this up so that I don't get it in the actual sari silk. Come on, friend, work with me here. It's been a big ooey gooey gluey adventure. And I'm sure there's definitely an easier way to do this than what I'm doing. But this is the only way I can think of to do it to where it's going to turn out all right. So I'm just trying my best to see what we end up coming up with here. There we go. Okay, let's try that. This is the part I'm the most worried about because everything else has been working out up until this point. Like I said, I should have waited to put these on, but I didn't think about it because I didn't really know I was going to be doing this. But it could also help hold down some of this too. So I'm not too mad about it. I'm not actually mad at all about it, but you know. Hi, Ronan.
Hi.
What's up, bud? I'm still making the same thing I was making 10 minutes ago, bud.
Book.
Yes.
Are you only working on one page?
No, I'm working on the cover. I've already got the pages done.
Oh. Where did you get this anyway?
Hi, Mace.
Oh,
Where'd I get what at?
this.
From the dishwasher? Uh-oh, gonna have to call maintenance. Okay, let's see. Wonder if I can put this on top of it.
Expecting this to happen again. I thought somebody else fixed it.
Okay.
Is that not what I do?
I think it's working. Seems like it's not popping up as much anymore. There's going to be a little bit of a weird divot here in the fabric. I wasn't really wanting, but it's not looking bad, guys. I think it's something I can just train the fabric to lay down on top of. Oh, yeah, a little bit of glue right there. Definitely going to be out of fabric glue after this. There we go, just like that. And with that, I would say at this point, I am probably done for the night. I'm going to need to let this dry so I can see how it's going to behave. And then afterwards, I'll be able to maybe add some embellishments. I want to add some Velcro to the strap that's over here. See, there's a little strap that I've made. But otherwise, I think this looks pretty darn good. And I'm really happy with this. So if you stuck with me this long, thank you so, so much. I really appreciate you. And I hope everybody has a good night. And thank you so much for visiting. Bye.